Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. This is the Halo Chick, and in the last video we went through the blood bank in the medical clinic and found Lily, E's little girlfriend that disappeared. So we're just finishing up our conversation with her and finding out that Thin Bloods are a special version of vampire that are weaker than most, and they are considered to be a liability for some reason. We'll find out more about that later. But right now we're going to tell her you should go see E. He said he forgives you. He wants to see you.
E doesn't hate me anymore?
No, quite the opposite. You should talk to him.
I'll go see him. Thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Oh, about tonight, what I did? Please, don't tell E. It's not my fault. I couldn't control it. I've never done anything like this before. I'm no killer.
Okay, now you can see a couple of options for us to try and extort money out of her. She doesn't really have anything to give, so it's really not worth doing that. You do have the option of telling E what she did, and if you do, she will be extremely upset with you. And I think that their story is kind of cute, so I'm not going to mess with it. So I promise, Lily, it's not your fault. You couldn't help it. Goodbye.
Why'd you have to go and let that bitch out? There's one less bill in the world now. Why'd you have to let her go and eat him, huh? Now I'll never get to doing that bastard myself. Well, you know what? No blood for you. No more!
As you can see, Vandal is not all right in the head. Something I forgot to mention when we first had our first conversation with him in the last video. You can straight up admit when he calls you out on it that yes, you are a vampire, and he will say that it's actually refreshing that somebody owned up to it rather than tried to hide it. But that's just a little tidbit I wanted to share. But let's try a little persuasion. You're lucky. If I hadn't freed her, her friends are going to shoot up the place.
That's interesting. A missed opportunity. Guns make people cocky. They never appreciate what a skilled hand married to a knife can do. All you have to do is get close enough to cut off the trigger finger. Or their face. You like to talk, don't you? I want to hear a story. Tell me, what's the best way you violenced up someone? I want to hear every grisly detail. If I like your story, I'll sell you some blood.
Now, as you can see, our only option here is I'm no killer. If your humanity was low enough, you would have the option to make up a nice, depraved, little gruesome story that would delight Vandal into letting you buy blood from him again. But our humanity is too high for us to have that option. But, so unfortunately, I'm no killer.
Blood comes from out of the living, from all kinds in a red torrent. The crimson seep at the speed of a heartbeat. For each drop, a teeny bit of life shed. You don't care how it's got, as long as it is. You'll be begging for it, and not getting any.
Well, we have our ways of getting what we need, so whatever. And that is the end of that. We have freed Lily. Now, in order to finish up the Thin Blood quest, we have to make sure that we go back to the beach and talk to Lily and E a little bit later on. But for now, we're going to go up to the other floor, to the middle floor. There's 3 floors on here. There's the ground floor, the bottom floor, and the top floor. So in this laundry room, you can see this kind of hole here. So if we crouch, we see that we can... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Move it out of the way. We can crawl through. Let's holster our weapon here. This is the morgue. You can open some of these shelves. There's nothing in them. This room has nothing for us now, but later it will be important. So this is just good to know. This is where the morgue is. And some of these computers are kind of fun. So let's take a look at this computer. Cadavers. Let's see if we can... Cowbell. Christopher Walken would be proud. Now he can't say that this game needs more cowbell. As you can see, we have some interesting people. We even have a Apparently died of indeterminate causes. Subject's body contained only 1 pint of blood. Well, clearly that was not something good. Couldn't have been fun. Clearly that was something like supernatural. So, as you see, we can go up this back way. We have some little stairs. And going through this glass door will bring us to the main floor right behind the reception desk. You cannot open them from the other side, but we can open them from this side. But first we're going to go in here and we can see Malcolm's office key. We'll meet Malcolm in just a second. There we go. This is Malcolm. He is the lone doctor on shift right now. And we're going to have a little bit of fun with him. Dr. Malcolm St. Martin. Here is his office. Let's take a look in his computer. Now, this office is important for several reasons. One, here's some bottles of morphine that we're going to give Mercurio to ease his pain. So that's one important reason to be here. And another one is this email here. Email. Let's get into his email. Panacea is his password. Tonight, are you free? Do you still make house calls, don't you, doctor? I've got something that needs to be checked out. Oh, Lord. All right, then. Paige. Here's another one from Paige. We can read it for a second. Help studying for her anatomy test. Sure. Sure. Here's another one from Paige. Well, clearly, him and this girl Paige have quite the thing going on, but if we look at his last email, it's from Trina. This is his wife, so we now know that the good doctor is having an affair. That's no good. So now that we have this little piece of information, maybe we can have a little bit of fun with it. Let's talk to Dr. St. Martin.
I'm sorry, miss, but you're going to have to wait outside like everyone else. No exceptions.
Okay, I'm probably going to end the video in just a minute. But before I do, I want to tell you that I'm going to be talking a little bit about the voice actors in this game. I am a huge fan of voice acting, and there is some great voice talent in this game. Now, this character's voice probably sounds very familiar to you, and that's because it is the voice of Hermes from Futurama, voiced by an incredibly talented man named Phil Lamar, who was a cast member on Mad TV for many, many years. And he voices just about every African-American character in this game. And every single one of them sounds very different and unique, which is just a credit to his talents and what an incredible voice actor he is. He does lots of different voice acting, and he does lots of characters in this game. So this, this is like Hermes' voice from Futurama. It's kind of trippy. So, you know what? Really quickly, we can go through this before we end the video. Are you Malcolm? Your wife know about your affair?
Get out of here! Can't you see I'm with a patient?
I guess you don't care if your wife finds out, then.
You're trying to blackmail me? You don't know who my wife is. She wouldn't believe you. Now get out!
Then I'll go forward that email from Paige to Trina at sol.vtm.
Wait now. What do you want?
$75.
But I'm in the middle of something. I'll have to drop it off later. Never speak to me about that again.
Put it in the mailbox for 508 in the apartments above the pawn shop, Doctor. If you have higher persuasion or intimidation, I forget which, you can actually get more money out of him. But I didn't, and $75 will do us good. That's fine. The next time we go to our haven, we're going to check our mailbox, and the money will be there. So we got to blackmail him a little bit. So I'm going to go now, and there's one more thing for us to do on this main floor. So I'll do that when we come back, and then we'll tackle the top floor of the hospital. So this is the Halo Chick signing off.